ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। हरि ओम, salutations to all. So we are seeing the 12th chapter. Bhagwan, he says that those who are continuously remembering him and offering all actions to him, ye tu sarvani karmani. Sixth shloka is what we are seeing. He already spoke about the difficulties of worshipping the formless. Someone who is ready for it can experience it, no doubt, where he says, क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्ता सक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते. One who has strong body identification, if that person contemplates on the formless, it will lead to dukkha only. Which by implication means that those who have that vairagya, who have reduced their body identification, they are capable. And three qualities were given, that also we saw. Sanniyamya indriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayah te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. So all that is covered about the formless nirgun nirakar upasana. Coming back to this sagun sakar, where he says sarvani karmani mai sanyasya, all actions dedicated to Bhagwan. So Bhagwan there means either the Ishtadevta's roop or seeing the whole universe as the Virat Rupa Bhagwan. Either of these it can mean. And he says Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya. Sanyasya does not mean you leave the karma. One is not to misunderstand that. Saying, Swamiji, it was said in 12th chapter, so I stopped doing all karma. Because Bhagwan said sannyas. So I dropped all karma. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya means what? The ego that we have, that I am the karta, that ego we drop. Bhagwan is a karta, I am a nimitta only. With that bhav that I am only a nimitta, I am not the karta, I am not the bhokta. Bhagwan only, Hari karta, Hari bhokta. Bhagwan does it, Bhagwan only enjoys. I am not the karta, I am not the bhokta. With that bhav, one does all karmas. All karmas means what? Different ways this can be explained. Sarvani karmani. Simple way to explain that is all actions from morning to night. From the time I wake up, all daily duties, nitya karma also, naimittik karma also, offer to Bhagwan. So I wake up, take bath, brush the teeth, eat food, do the work, whatever I am doing, till night, whole day. Sarvani karmani. If we go a little deeper, Akhandanandji says very nicely that if you give 20 minutes to Bhagwan, he will want 40 minutes. If you give 40, he will want 1 hour. If you give 1 hour, he will want more. It's not that Bhagwan is greedy, but the point is, when we forget ourselves, that is the time when we are most blissful. And Bhagwan wants that for us. You think about it, even in our day-to-day life, when we go to sleep, we feel so relaxed and deep sleep, Why? Because we have forgotten samsar. When we are absorbed in doing something, we have forgotten samsar. When we do sadhana, we have forgotten samsar. This chintan of samsar creates all the strain, stress, anxiety, worry, all that. So that will come in the next shloka anyway, how Bhagwan uplifts a person. But the point is, Bhagwan wants more time of ours so that we can be in our true state and be happy. The Bhagwan is greedy. So Akhandanandji says that if you offer your waking state to him, all actions of waking state, then he will ask your dream state also. Of course, that's a figurative way of saying dream there is no conscious sense of individuality. It's a random projection that is happening. But the bhav is all waking, dream, deep sleep, everything offered to Bhagwan. So he says that अपने लिए कुछ बचा के रखना चाहते हो तो इस मार्ग में मत आओ. ये मार्ग आत्म बलि का है. Because Bali Raja, he gave 3 pieces of, he gave land to occupy 3 footsteps. And Bhagwan covered the Bhuloka and then the higher worlds with 2 steps. The third one, what to do? So Bali Raja offered himself. That is called Atma Bali. So this is symbolic of that. A seeker has to give up the ego fully. I am not this jiva at all. Bhagwan alone is, and he is the karta, he is the bhokta. That bhav, when we have sarvani karmani mai sanyasya, means that. It doesn't mean that I don't do action, but I do without any sense of doership. Swamiji, if I don't have to do action, if I am not the karta, I am not the bhokta, then why should I do action? For what? How will I benefit? Those questions are normal at some point in time, but Bhakta doesn't have those questions. Why? Why am I doing karma then? For Bhagavat Preeti. Even when we do puja, we do a sankalp, no? Om Mamo Pata Samasta Giritakshaya Dwara Shri Parameshwara Preetyartham. First is Parameshwara Preeti. I do it for Bhagwan's happiness. Only one person we have to please in our life, and that is Bhagwan. We don't have to please anybody else. We have to do kartavya, which we have to do. Bhagwan put us here, so we will do kartavya. But we don't have to please anybody. We try to do ulta. Bhagwan ko we have forgotten. We are trying to please everybody in this world, and somebody or the other will be unhappy with us. Then we keep feeling, what is this now? I do so much, but people still, they are not appreciating. This person is still not happy. That person is still not feeling fulfilled. How much more can I do for them? We don't have to please anybody. We can make efforts to make them happy because Bhagwan is in them. Through them, Bhagwan will become happy. If they don't become happy, that is their choice. We did it for Bhagwan's Preeti. We did it to the best of our ability. Ishvara Preetyartham. Parameshwara Preetyartham. That's all. That is called Sanyasya. Sanyasya is only giving up karta bhav, giving up our insistence, agraha, duragraha. We do whatever has to be done with the bhav. I am doing it for Bhagwan, for his joy. Sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. Considering him as supreme, matparaha. So Sarvani karmani can mean full waking, dream, deep sleep. Sarvani karmani can mean my sanchit, prarabdha and agami karma. All those I will give to Bhagwan. Meaning, whatever one is exhausting right now, one exhausts it with the bhav that this is all sent by Bhagwan. Bhakta does not think about this is my past karma. Bhakta says body also is given by Bhagwan. Even though in the past I may have had karma, asakti, I may have karta bhav, I would have done karma, and it is supposed to be that I am the bhokta, so I should enjoy it. I exhaust the karma phala, but now this knowledge has come, bhakti has come. One says even Bhagwan only gives karma phala also. This body to exhaust also given by Bhagwan. Whatever I am attaining in this world also is given by Bhagwan. My past karma I have come here to exhaust. That also is Bhagavad Kripa only. Those karmas are giving results. So Bhakta says everything happens by Bhagavad Kripa. So Bhakta doesn't think about this is my prarabdha karma, I have to deal with it, let me deal with it equanimously. Bhakta says, Jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahi. And keeps chanting Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram kahiye. That is called Sarvani Karmani. Prarabdha offered to Bhagwan, whatever Bhagwan wills will happen. I do my duty because Bhagwan put me here. Sanchit Karma, past bundle, whatever has been accumulated, that when one is fully identified with Bhagwan, that Sanchit bundle anyway goes away. If because of that Sanchit Karma one has to take new birth, one will take new birth. Bhagwan, if he wants me to take a new birth, I will take a new birth. That's the attitude of a Bhakta. And Agami Karma doesn't create. Why? Because Bhagwan is the Karta, I am not the Karta. With that bhav, if I exhaust the Prarabdha, new Agami Vasanas will not come. Agami Karma will not get added. So Sanchit is burnt with the oneness with Bhagwan, or if it is not happened, then whatever Bhagwan wills, whenever he wants me to take Janma, wherever, in whichever form I will take. So that is surrender to Bhagwan. Prarabdha also is surrender to Bhagwan. Agami to anyway doesn't arise only because I am not the Karta. All karma is given up to Bhagwan. So one is Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, all karma is given up to Bhagwan. Second is Sanchit Prarabdha Agami also given up to Bhagwan. Third is very nice. Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, all devoted to Bhagwan. Whatever is my Adi Bhautik Kartavya, I have duties as a, let us say, father, mother, friend, employer, employee, whatever my duties are. All those are Adi Daivik Kartavya, Adi Bhautik Kartavya. So all that offered to Bhagwan. Whatever karmas I do to please the Devatas. In the Vedic times, people used to do that, Agnihotra and Ashwamedha and Rajasuya and so many such yajnas. And even otherwise, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, all those devatas one will please. Today we go to the temple or we pray to our Ishta Devata. Whatever we do for pleasing the phenomenal forces, to get out of planetary influences, to do some particular mantra japa for the health of somebody. Any devata we want to please, whatever karma we do for it, we said first we offer this to Bhagwan, then we offer it to this devata. It may be anything like Graha Pravesh one does, Vivah Samskar one does, Janevu Samskar one does. In all that, devatas will be invoked through the mantras. One says, I offer this to Bhagwan first. Karma will still be done, devata will still be invoked, but the first bhavna is all these devatas also are getting power from Bhagwan. That Supreme Lord, I am offering it to Bhagwan. And the Adhyatmic karma also. Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik over. Adhyatmic karma, all the spiritual actions, formal spiritual actions. Puja, Japa, Tapa, Vishwa, Upvas, Yatra, Tirtha, any of this, any sadhana that I do, offer it to Bhagwan. That is called Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya. Ye to Sarvani Karmani Mai Sanyasya Mat Paraha. Bhagwan says, considering me as the Supreme. So when he says Mat Paraha, means intellectually one values that the Lord is the goal of life. Bhagwan is the goal of life. Bhagwan is supreme. He is in infinite measure. Aishwarya, Vidya, Yasha, Shri, Jnana, Vairagya, Moksha, everything is in infinite measure in Bhagwan. And whatever we seek in the world is already there with Bhagwan in infinite measure. We want Kirti, Bhagwan has infinite Kirti. We want Prem, Bhagwan is Prem Sagar. We want Anand, Bhagwan is Ananda Swarupa. We want wealth. Bhagwan is a lord of all wealth. We want, let us say, enjoyment. Bhagwan is a lord of enjoyment also. Everything that we seek is with Bhagwan. So mat paraha. With this bhav and with this clarity, so feeling and thinking and actions dedicated to Bhagwan. So ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya mat paraha. Such devotees, ananyena eva yogena. See, we feel our individuality is very strong. So we feel Bhagwan is separate, I am separate. And sometimes we forget Bhagwan and we think all the glory belongs to me. Without Bhagwan, we are nobody. That's why this Matparaha is very, very powerful to understand. More one meditates on Matparaha. Bhagwan is a supreme, we are zero. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to give that example, you know. Zero by itself, no value. 5 zeros put together, nothing, it is zero. But you put 1 in front of it, suddenly it will become 1 lakh. That 1 is Bhagwan and 0 is all of us. Even if you put 1 at the end, all the zeros in the beginning and 1 at the end, the 0 has no value. Anywhere you put 1, before that whichever zeros are there, that 0 will not have any value. Only after 1, zeros will have value. So, when we forget Bhagwan, who is 1, and we think ourselves as supreme or great, and which God, what God, I don't believe in God. Once it happened like that, you know. So, Vishnu Bhagwan, he went to meet Bhagwan Shiva. So, he went in his Vahan, Garudji. So, when he went in his Vahan to Garudji, on Garudji to meet Shivji at Kailas, you know, he thought Shivji will get up and he will come to receive. But Shivji is lost in Dhyan. And he didn't pay attention. Vishnu Bhagwan is coming. So the snake who is there on the neck of Shivji, that snake suddenly goes to hiss and bite Garudji as though. Garudji laughs. When one loud laughter he gives, this snake, you know, Vasuki. Vasuki is, why are you laughing? What happened? So that Vasuki, he says something very nice. There he says that, you know, a person has importance because of what, that one should not forget. So he says very nicely, Sthanam pradhanam na balam pradhanam sthane sthita ka purushopi dhiraha. Sthanam pradhanam na. So he says, Sthanam pradhanam, sorry, na balam pradhanam. That place is important and not the mere strength. Sthite, sthane sthite ka purushopi dhiraha. If the right place a person is in, because of that power of that place, even a weak-hearted person appears very strong. Meaning, one should know what is the power of the place. For example, if let us say a person is occupying the chair of a whatever CEO, Prime Minister, Chief Minister, whatever, some post. Now that post is giving that much power. If that person's post is taken away, nobody will even bother. So if the person doesn't remember that and becomes egoistic, then that will bring the downfall of the person. Of course, this example has a limitation. In this context, we have to understand So Garudaji says to him, Janami Nagendra tava prabhavam. O Nagendra, I know what is your power. Kantham vina garjasi Shankarasya. Without the neck of Lord Shiva, if you try to hiss, I know what is your power. Garudaji will immediately finish him. But because he is in the kantha of Lord Shiva, he gets that man and that power, and he is hissing, and Garudaji doesn't do anything to him. That's why he says, Garjasi Shankarasya kantham vina. Meaning, if Shivji was not there and you had done this hissing, you would have known your place. Same way in our life also, we forget who is Bhagwan, what is his power, what is his glory. The whole Srishti Bhagwan has made. I am one little small jiva, deriving all my power from Bhagwan and then forgetting. So Matparaha means that one should know I am who I am because of Bhagwan. Even my own karma, I may have more reliance on that. I rely more on my karma. I am self-made. I did so much work. I came into this city with little money. Today I am a multi-billionaire. One may say all that, but nothing of this has happened without Bhagwan's kripa. That's why Bhagwan is supreme. That mat paraha and sarvani karmani sanyasya. That bhavana is there. Ananyenaiva yogena. With single pointed devotion. Ananya yoga it is. So last class we saw simple meaning of Ananya yoga is where the mind does not think of anything else to depend on, only depends on Bhagwan. Today we depend on power. If some power is there, we feel, I am somebody. We depend on small things. Some nice branded clothes we wear, then we feel, I am wearing branded t-shirt and branded spectacles and branded phone and branded car and branded watch and branded shoes. From there I am deriving my sense of self-worth. Bhakta doesn't depend on anything in the world, neither on money, nor on power, nor on fame, nor on appreciation of people. Bhakta doesn't depend even on one's own karma and sadhana. Not that Bhakta is not doing, one will do sadhana, but one knows that whatever I get is blessing of Bhagwan. Which means only on Bhagwan I rely, on nothing else, not on this body, not on this karma, not on people, position, power, prestige, popularity, none of that. On whom I depend? Only on Bhagwan. So whatever Bhagwan gives, I will accept. Whatever Bhagwan does, in whichever state Bhagwan keeps, I will accept. That bhav, one who has only solely dependent on Bhagwan, that person is called Ananya Bhakta. Hanumanji is like that, Ananya Bhakta. Prahladji is Ananya Bhakta. Vibhishanji, Ananya Bhakta. Mirabai, Ananya Bhakta. Andal, Ananya Bhakta. So many, they depend only on Bhagwan and no one else, nothing else. We depend on samsar. We want something, we'll go to people first. Nothing wrong, again I am saying, in going to people, but the bhav should be that Bhagwan is in the heart of that person and inspiring them to do. So first gratitude should be to Bhagwan. We go and thank the person, thank you so much, you helped me a lot, and when I was in need, you were there for me. So nothing wrong, we express thankfulness to them, but in our heart first we thank Bhagwan, because Bhagwan inspired that jiva to give, to help, to serve. Oh, Swamiji, does it mean that the other people whom I went to and they did not help, then Bhagwan did inspire them? In one way it is true, because Bhagwan is a karma phaladata. He has to manage the karmic account. So maybe somebody is not inspired to give. Somebody is inspired to give. Bhagwan is managing all that karma also for us. So we don't blame anybody. If somebody gives something, we don't say that, oh, this person is so great because he's always helping me, and this person is pathetic. He doesn't help me at all. I don't like him. then it will become Rag and Dvesh. Bhakta says, if that person did not give, that is also Bhagavad Ichha. If this person gave, that is also Bhagavad Ichha. Then I am depending only on Bhagwan. See, even when we ask for donation, we ask for donation with what bhav? This is Bhagwan's work. Bhagwan's work has to be done. Bhaktas who are there, who are willing, they can give. First we thank in our heart Bhagwan only. That Bhagwan inspired people to contribute, and Bhagwan's Kripa, some project has taken off. Bhagwan's Kripa, everything has happened. If one takes the credit for it, I built it, I did this, I did that, and my appeal and people gave so much donation, that is all stupidity. That is not Ananya Bhav then. Then Ahankara has increased. It is Bhagwan's work. Bhagwan's devotees are being inspired by Bhagwan and they are giving their hard-earned money. With that, again Bhagwan's devotees only are building this up for Bhagwan's work. Then that is Ananya Bhav. This we can apply everywhere. Bhagwan only has given this child to me. Bhagwan only has given this house to me, this job to me, and with Bhagavad Kripa, I am doing it for Bhagavad Preeti. That is Ananya Bhav. In that, whatever has to be done will be done. If any critical feedback comes, one will take. If some praise comes, one will offer it to Bhagwan. One doesn't take it personally. That is called Ananya Yoga. Ananyenaiva Yogena. You know, Ananya Bhav, if we have complete surrender to Bhagwan, when we have, with that Ananya Bhav, if I take the name of Bhagwan only once, Sakshatkar will happen, Bhagavad Kripa will become evident, Bhagwan's darshan also will happen. Once only. With Ananya Bhav one has to take. Our problem is that Ananya Bhav doesn't come. That is what takes long time to prepare. So many people even beg money na in the name of Bhagwan. Bhagwan ke naam pe paisa de de baba. So they are also taking Bhagwan naam. But with what bhav? Ananya Bhav is not there. Bhav is use the name of Bhagwan as a means to get wealth for my livelihood sustenance. So Bhagwan became the means for bhoga. Bhakta says Bhagwan Naam is not even a means for mukti. Bhagwan Naam is for Bhagavad Preeti. I chant the name of Bhagwan for Bhagwan's joy. I don't chant to get mukti. I don't chant to get purity of mind. I don't chant to get, some power, money, progeny. Nothing wrong by itself in doing any of this for that. Please remember, this is not a condemnation of that. If somebody is doing japa for well-being, one's own well-being or somebody else's health, there's nothing wrong. If one says ki Bhagwan, I am doing this anushthan, please bless me with some money, nothing wrong. We are talking here about highest state of devotee who has Ananya Bhav. And that bhakta sees the Lord in one's own heart as everything, and one sees that same Lord in everyone. In Tulsi Ramayan, that's why it comes. So Ananya Jake Mati Asinatarai Hanumant, Mai Sevak Sacharachara Rupa Swami Bhagavant. Where that Ananya Bhav is being described by Bhagwan. He says, so Ananya, that person is Ananya Bhakta, in whose mind this is very clear. Mai Sevaka Sacharachara Rupa Swami. I am Sevak and this whole world, moving, non-moving, is the form of Bhagwan. So one is seeing functionally the people around, but one is serving with the bhav, this is Bhagavad Seva that I am doing. So one sees inside also Bhagwan, if one withdraws the senses and the mind, and outside also one sees Bhagwan. That is called Ananya Bhav. So one who depends only on Bhagwan and does all the sadhana with Ananya Bhav. Whatever sadhana we do, we have to do as much as we can with the Ananya Bhav, that Bhagwan alone is to be pleased with this sadhana and I am doing it for his preeti. Whatever it may be, we may be, Thakurji Seva one may do, give him bath, give him clothes, give him food, put him to sleep. That. Or one may do Nam Smaran, or one may do Bhajan Kirtan, one may sing stutis, one may do chanting, Parayan, Upvas, Dan, Yajna, Tirtha, anything. The moment we say, and in fact, in most of this, you will find a sankalpa has to be taken, and in that sankalpa, Ishvara, Parameshwara Prityartham will be there. That is to remind us to do it first for Bhagwan's Preeti. Then, if you have any other purpose, you may do, but otherwise, main for Bhagavad Preeti. So he says, Ananyenaiva, eva. Eva means that only. Realization doesn't take time. What takes time is to build Ananya Bhav. Like Gurudev used to give the example, to sleep, how much time does it take to sleep? Swamiji, at least half an hour it takes to sleep. To prepare, it may take half an hour. To withdraw the mind, it may take half an hour. But actually to sleep, one can't say actually how much time it takes to sleep because one goes beyond time in sleep, sucked into that state of sleep. If my withdrawal is complete, all that nice tube light is put off and nice night lamp is there, and then this bed is spread nicely and there's a mosquito repellent, whatever, if it has to be put on, that is put on. The room is made dark and cool and quiet and all that. That will take time. Then one is lying down on the bed, and then if one is playing, fidgeting with the phone, and that will take so much more time. Then one puts it aside. Now the mind is active because suddenly the mind will not go to sleep. So mind is active. Say, no, I'm tired. I want to sleep. One withdraws from all thoughts. Then one is sucked into sleep. This whole process took so much time, not for sleep. That's only preparation to sleep. Same way with Ananya Bhav. If somebody says, Swamiji, I'm doing japa from so many years, but I still don't have darshan of Bhagwan. See, that japa has destroyed a lot of sins of the past also, Dehatma Bhav also. So it's not gone for a waste. But darshan of Bhagwan has not happened. Why? With Ananyata one has to chant that Bhagwan, I am yours completely and I am doing this for your Preeti. I want nothing out of it and I am only thankful that I can take your name. With that full surrender, when one with full surrender and with that bhav one does, then darshan also happens. We have to bring the mind to that state and then forget ourselves completely. That forgetting ourselves completely is possible only when mind is fully invested in Bhagwan. That's why Ananya Yoga. Ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. They are meditating on me. They are doing upasana, which we saw earlier also, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya, Lila, Sambandh. They think of any of this of Bhagwan and absorb their mind in this. Such devotees who depend only on Bhagwan, this is what we called earlier, no? That is the Marjar Nyay, where this kitten is fully surrendered to the cat. Now this cat will lift the kitten and place from here to there. Kitten has to do nothing, is just available to the cat without resistance, without insistence, fully available as it is. Surrender is like that, fully available to Bhagwan. Whatever Bhagwan wants me to do with me, let Bhagwan do. So Bhakta doesn't think about pleasant and unpleasant and this is not what I expected and this is what I expected. All that stages one has crossed. One is only interested in Bhagavad Nam Smaran or Bhagavad Chintan, whatever be one sadhana, for pleasing Bhagavan. Such devotees who exclusively depend only on Bhagavan, they don't even want mukti. What happens to such devotees? Because we say that, bondage is because of avidya. Avidya has to go only with vidya. Knowledge can be only the means by which ignorance will be removed. And this bhakta is not doing anything except chanting Ram, 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 Ram. How will this bhakta get mukti? So many saints, if you see their lives, what levels of surrender to Bhagavan they have. What happens to such devotees? Bhagavan says in the seventh one, Teshamaham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayyaveshita chetasam. Mayyaveshita chetasam. This we have seen earlier also. Mayyaveshya mano yemam, in the reply Bhagavan said, Mayyaveshya mano yemam, whose mind is absorbed, overpowered by me, meaning whose mind is absorbed in me fully. Mayyaveshya mano yemam. Such people, Mayyaveshita chetasam, aham tesham samuddharta. Bhagavan says, I liberate them. Samuddharta has a very nice meaning. Tesham, of such devotees, I am the savior. That's the literal translation. Sixth shloka says, who are those devotees? Sarvani karmani matparaha ananya yogena, meaning with body, with mind, with intellect, they have surrendered to me completely. They depend only on me. Only one person who is dependable truly at all times, in all situations, is Bhagavan. We can depend on others for some time in some situations, and all good intentions they may have, and they may help also us. But at all times, in all ways, may not be possible because they have their limitations. Sometimes they are not there because samsara is like that. They may pass on, their situation may change. So many things happen. The relationship can get strained, anything can happen. While we do vyavahar, we do maintain our sambandha and all, whatever has to be done, we do. But only truly dependable is who? Bhagavan. So, such devotees who depend only on Bhagavan, when we do all this sadhanas, that bhav must come. One of the things that helps to cultivate this bhav, and one of the reasons I also went on Narmada Parikrama was this: 100% depend only on God. One doesn't know where the next stop will be, where the next meal will come from, what will be the situation around, who will protect us. We are going through jungles and mountains and rivers, and sometimes there's no proper place to stay and eat and sleep, and bhaktas, they are there who take care on the way and all that. It's not a scary situation that way, but it is there is no certainty. And the comfort of the house and security of the house and all that is not there. One is sleeping anywhere, sometime in a temple, sometimes in some veranda, sometimes in somebody's house, anywhere below a tree. Who protects? Who takes care? Bhagwan only takes care. No, no, Swamiji, what happens if something happens? Some snake comes, some scorpion comes, some wild animal comes. If they have to come, they will come. It is a test of one's ananyata and dependence on Bhagwan also. That same Bhagwan is in the heart of all these people also. Means all these people, in the sense, all the beings. And I am not joking. It is a fact. Bhagwan, when we say Antaryami, he is in the hearts of all the beings. And if any animal has to attack, it will attack, then do what has to be done. Surrender to Bhagwan, live. Forest, when we have to pass through some of the dense forests, I don't know if I shared earlier, there was one sadhu. In Narmada Parikrama talk I shared, but otherwise in these general talks of Gita, etc., I don't know if I shared, but I was going to say it. So, there was one Parikramavasi. His name is Bholenath. So, this Bholenath, absolutely detached person he was. Earlier he was a driver and all, has driven in many places and all that, and he left. And he became a spiritual seeker full time. He is in search of a guru. But very nice sadhak. So when we reached one particular ashram, the next portion is about 15 kilometers, which will pass through a jungle. And Chavan Rishi's ashram, after that, the jungle will start. And we have to reach some particular village, crossing the jungle. And that's Swamiji at Chavan Rishi ashram. He said, try and avoid going alone in the jungle. Go as at least minimum two people together, and more also are there, it is okay. So there were about five of us, and two of them decided they don't want to continue the parikrama because they had joined us in between. They wanted to go back to Omkareshwar and start again. Now three of us are left. We are walking and going. This Bholenath, he is walking in his masti. He is not bothered about what is happening and who are there with me, not there with me. Happily, he is just going. We both are also there. I was there and there another one Parikramavasi. Two of us, and we came to one crossroad. And I was sure that this is the road we have to take because that's what the Swamiji in the Chavan ashram said, that you take this road. And Bholenath had gone walking ahead. And there's a folk. So one person, my partner here, who was saying we have to go that side. I said, no, we have to go here only. Let's go. And both of us, then we took that path and we went. But that Bholenath we saw, he is not bothered. He has no fear in his mind. So when we reached near him, then we asked, how are you walking like this? And if you see his walk, the detachment in his walk is so evidently available. Fearless, detached, having full Shraddha. He is walking. He said, what happens if any wild animal comes? And just before that Chavan Rishi ashram, that Swamiji has told so many stories about wild animal attack, and they have cows in the Goshala. So he has said, the leopard attack happens in the night or in the sometimes evening, and they take away some calves. So he says in a year at least 10, 12 happen like that. All that big stories he has told. Then we asked him. So he said, first of all, he gave a simple reply. He said that animals, why should we be scared of them? They are scared of us. Listening to our walk, the sound that we make while walking, they will only go away. And daytime, they will not come. In evenings and night is their time, they will come out. That time, we should not disturb them. That time, we should be in wherever we reach, you stay there. Then afterwards, he said, सबके हृदय में ना मेरा पशुपतिनाथ है. वो पशुपतिनाथ क्यों है? क्योंकि वो सभी पशुओं का पति है और वो मेरे हृदय में भी है. मुझे क्यों डरना है? Happily he was going, fully dependent on Bhagwan only. He doesn't think that some lakdi he has that will save him, or some people who are with him will save him, or I should go only with some safety backup, with some what you call that knife or a talwar or something. Nothing. He is going inside. That is dependence on Bhagwan. So in the parikrama we meet a lot of people like that, and it tests our shraddha also. That is Ananya Bhav really there, or we get disturbed, perturbed, and it's a process. One becomes more aware. Until one is not put in those kind of situations, one doesn't know. One thinks, I'm a very great bhakta. When we go to these places and then one wonders. And I'm telling you, Bhagwan takes care of every single thing. Whoever needs whatever Bhagwan gives. Sometimes we don't like it. But if we actually introspect and think, it would have been good only for us. Most difficult situations sometimes one goes through, it seems unfair, it seems why this happened, all that. But if once the Shraddha is there that whatever happens is good only, that is Ananya Bhav. So Bhagavan says, such devotees, aham samuddharta, I uplift them. So Samudharta has one meaning, is beautiful meaning, is Sam, Ut and Harta. Three words are there. Sam, completely. Ut, above. Harta, take out. So one who takes us out from something below and places us above is Samudharta. Acha, take from below and place above means what? Mrityu samsara sagarat, who takes us from this Mrityu samsara, ocean of samsara, which is death. Samsara is Mrityu only. Mrityu samsara means samsara eva Mrityu. Mrityu eva samsara. Meaning this nature of the samsara is continuously perishing. Death is the reality of samsara. And that is happening every single moment. It is not happening at a point in time. That's a big illusion that time plays and our mind plays, that one day I will die. Not one day I will die. Every single moment I am dying only. That dying process is completed as though at the time of final death of the body. But if we are thinking we are now alive and I will die at one point in time, Vedanta says that is the illusion. I am dying every moment. That dying process is getting complete. That process of dying I am calling as living. The point is not to become pessimistic. The point is only to understand that this is Mrityu Samsara. We get shocked because that process of death, when it gets complete, now that person is no more there. So we miss that person. We can't interact. We can't talk. We can't, have further experiences, create memories that we can't do. So we feel the loss. But otherwise, every single moment that person was dying, I am dying, is going on. So this identification with body will create this experience of finitude. Finitude is death, change is death. So from this realm, and that death will bring sorrow. So Mrityu Samsara Sagarat means from this sorrowful state of existence where I am identified with the finite, perishing, and that which is perishing will give only dukkha. In the Chandogya Upanishad, the Upanishad is very clear. Alpe sukham na asti bhuma eva sukham. That which is limited, there is no sukha in that. In fact, there is dukkha. Any form of limitation will bring dukkha. Only the unlimited has paramanand. So bhuma eva sukham. That which is infinite alone has bliss. One who lifts us away from the state of finitude and places us in infinite. That is Samudharta. That is Bhagavan. Devotee doesn't even have to bother. If just the name of Bhagavan devotee is chanting with Ananya Bhav, Bhagavan will give that Jiva Jnanam, which is Kaivalya Sthiti, Paramananda Prapti, what we call as Jiva Brahma Aikya, that supreme state of oneness, everything that Jiva will attain. All by Bhagavad Kripa. So we don't have to worry, okay, if I worship the form, how will I attain Jiva Brahma Aikya? I will only get Salokya Mukti, I will go to the Loka Bhagwan, I will get Sayujya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti, I will look like Bhagwan, I will get Samipya Mukti, I will stay near Bhagwan. Bhagwan says, I will unite them with me. That is my responsibility, Bhagwan says. And this is a promise he makes. In the Gita, in different places, Bhagwan makes promises. And this is a promise that Bhagwan makes, and Bhagwan's promise he will keep. Our promise we forget. This Ananya Bhav is like that, where one chants the name of Bhagwan with full bhavna and surrenders oneself. Ki Bhagwan, I am yours, you are mine, and I am doing this to please you. Bas, that devotee liberated. Tesham aham samudharta. Bhagwan says, I promise. Aham samudharta, mrityu samsara sagarat. I will liberate them from this mrityu samsara. So mrityu samsara. Samsara is called as a sagar. Mrityu is samsara. Samsara is mrityu, and that is an ocean. Why it is an ocean? Because it is vast. Shores of the ocean are not visible. When one is in the middle of the ocean, where one will see the shores? Wherever one sees there is only water, water, water. Shores are not even to be seen. Samsara is like that. Shore is Bhagwan in this context. Changeless truth. A changeless is not visible. Bhagwan as well has become invisible, though he is everywhere, but he is invisible. So one is drowning. Samsara. How much can one cross? It is so mighty. No swimmer, however great that potential of that swimmer may be, power of the swimmer may be, can cross huge ocean. We are in the samsara sagar. If we say with my effort I will get mukti, no doubt we can put effort, but finally all that effort culminates in surrender. Even in nididhyasana of the formless, one will drop the ego, no, finally. Surrender only happens. If one surrenders, then Bhagavan says, I lift them out of this ocean of samsara. If we say, no, no, my effort, I will wait and I will put in my purushartha, with that I will cross. Bhagavan says, cross, happily cross. When that jiva becomes exhausted, fatigued, tired, burnt out, saying ki Bhagavan, I have done enough, I don't think with my effort I can cross this ocean of samsara. And where is that ocean of samsara? Not outside, here. Likes, dislikes, wandering of the mind, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, bhaya, shoka, ahankar. So many of these are the dangerous creatures which are lurking in our mind. Like in the ocean, no, the sharks. So many dangerous creatures are there. Whale and shark and octopus and whatnot, whatnot. So many. All these, they all are in this mind. And that ocean has waves. Even if one is going in a boat, that's the reason why one goes in a proper boat, so that the waves are lashing but one will still remain unaffected. If the boat is not there, one is drowning. In that the waves come, huge waves, they carry the person up and down and the person drowns also. How long will one keep floating, because one has to keep paddling in that water and will get exhausted. Same way this mind, how much sadhana we will do by ourselves and how much will by our sadhana, our impurities will get over and the mind will abide in Bhagwan. Even with all that effort, few minutes it abides, again it goes. Again I am saying this is not to say that I will not do my karma or I will not do my sadhana. All this is to say I depend only on Bhagwan. And Bhagwan says such devotees who depend only on me, that ocean of samsara which appears very difficult to cross, the ocean of avidya, ocean of kama, ocean of karma, all that Bhagwan says, I lift this jiva out. So, samudharta, samud also means ananda. So that's the second etymology. Samud means anand also. And harta, one who takes us away from dukkha and places us in ananda. From petty paltry joys of the world where I am so attached, one who lifts us away and places us in Sukha Swarup, Paramananda Swarup. That what are you playing with these toys? For how long? If the jiva fully depends on Bhagwan, Bhagwan says, I lift you out. And Bhagwan is the waiting to lift us out. We have not surrendered. That's why he says, Bhavami Nachirat Partha. Instantly, very quickly, he says, Bhavami Nachirat Partha Maya Veshita Chetasam. One whose mind is absorbed in me, they will get out of this. I become their savior. And very quickly they attain. And that's why Sharanagati is what one has to focus on. Anything that is not strengthening my Sharanagati bhav, my bhakti, which strengthens my ahankar, bhakta drops that. Whatever helps me to forget this ahankar and abide in Bhagwan, that the jiva, that the bhakta follows. And bhakta doesn't even ask. Bharatji, if you see, in Ayodhya Kand, it comes so beautifully. He says, when he has to return, he tried his best and Bhagwan Ram is not convinced. And Bhagwan Ram explains to him why the Vachan Purti has to happen exactly as it has been asked. Bharat has to rule kingdom for 14 years, Bhagwan Ram has to be in the forest for 14 years. There can't be a compromise in that. Lakshman can rule the kingdom and Bharat and Ramji can go to the forest. Or Bharatji can go to the forest instead of Ramji and Ramji can rule the kingdom. None of the permutations and combinations will work. Why? Because father gave these two boons. So finally Bharatji has to return. There he asks a very nice boon. He says, Arthana, Dharmana Arthana Kama Ruchi. I have no interest in Artha, Kama and Dharma. But by the way, Bharatji, when he handed over the kingdom to Bhagwan Ram after 14 years, when Bhagwan came, he handed over the kingdom. Ayodhya's wealth had multiplied by 10 times. People have become prosperous, treasury has become 10 times more than when Bharatji had got the kingdom. From that time to the time he handed over, he multiplied it 10 times. Valmiki Ramayana says 10 times. So it's not that he was a Bhagat. So, what is the point? There's no need to do anything and you just sit quietly, chant Bhagwan's name. No, this is Bhagwan's work only. And he says, Arthana, Dharmana, Arthana, Kama Ruchi. He says, I have no interest in Dharma also, values and duties and charity for my personal punya karma or getting punya. He did dharma, he did the duty, but not interested to do for ego. I will get punya, I will go to heaven, I will enjoy, and none of that. So dharmana artha, no attachment to wealth. He lived outside Nandigram, outside Ayodhya in Nandigram, and that too below the earth. Because Bhagwan is walking on the earth and sleeping on the earth, so I have to sleep below. I am sevak. So that is his bhav. So dharmana, arthana, kama, no enjoyment. He is also living in tapas vesh. He doesn't want anything. No sense enjoyments. He lives on kandamul and fool and phal. What Bhagwan is eating, that I will eat. So dharmana, arthana, kama, ruchi, gatina chahahu nirvan. He says, I don't want nirvan also. Somebody says, okay, dharma, artha, kama you don't want, but you want mukti at least. He says, I don't want mukti also. Why? Then what do you want? He says to Bhagwan Ram, Janama Janama Rati Rama Pada Yaha Varadanana An. Life after life, you just bless me with devotion to your lotus feet. That is Ananya Bhav. Bhakta does not even want mukti. Bhakta says, whatever Bhagwan wills, this is fine. I just need to know, I just need to continuously remember Bhagwan and I depend only on Bhagwan. The feeling of Bhagwan is mine and I am Bhagwan's. That is Ananya Bhav. With that Ananya Bhav, we surrender ourselves as we are. We don't even have to purify our mind. As I am, whoever I am, however I am, Bhagwan, I am yours and I do this sadhana because I love you. That's it. That is Ananya Bhav. Such devotees, Bhagwan says, I take them out of this ocean of samsara. Why? Because they depend only on me. They don't depend on anything else and they are just remembering me. Bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. All sadhana culminates in surrender to Bhagwan, where completely one drops all individuality, all desires, all nothing. One becomes shunya, empty. Only Bhagwan remains. Bhagwan says, I lift them out. Swamiji, what is there to lift out of that if that jiva is already surrendered fully? Whatever samsara is left, karma is left, all that destroyed, all avidya gone. that Jiva experiences absolute oneness with Bhagavan. So this concludes one portion of the 12th chapter, where this form, formless worship, etc. is described, and how the formless worshipper also attains mukti, and how worshipper of form also attains mukti through this, when he says Bhavamina Chirat Partha. If I worship my Ishta Devata also, I will get this ultimate realization of the Supreme Sachidananda Brahma. If I worship Bhagavan as this whole universe also, I will attain the same state. Nirgun Nirakar, if I worship also, I will attain the same state. Now, he says, he gives 4 sadhanas, which we will take in our next satsang, which are in the descending order of subtlety. These are 4 bhakti sadhanas, where he speaks about highest level, then little lesser than that higher, then still simpler, then the simplest one. If you can't do this, do this. If you can't do this, then next. If you can't even do this, do the 4th one. So hierarchy is given. And the beauty is, any of these 4 also by itself, if you take it to its culmination, one will reach Supreme. Or if one wants to say from step 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, I will rise, that also is okay. So more about that we will see in our next satsang. We thank all our Yajmans, those who are Yajmans for this entire series. So we thank Bharat ji, Kalpana Modparia ji, Parag Wagh, Vandana Jagwani ji, Geeta Aarti Yajman for all the sessions, Ajay ji, Dipti ji, Hemant ji, Jyotsna ji, Jolly ji, Jayashri ji, Tarana ji, Rashmi ji, Sapna ji, Rajan ji, Shalini ji, Nalini ji, Vijaya ji, Nandita ji, and Saraswati ji. Today's Dainik Yajman, Kirit Vora ji, Shalini Chawla ji, Surbhi Ashar ji, and Mala Lentin ji. And today's Geeta Aarti Yajman, Nitiksha Tarkas ji, Pradeep Shroff ji, Madhuri Bhatia ji. We invoke God's grace, Gurudev's blessings on them, their families, and everyone present here. May Bhagwan bless us with Ananya Bhav. May our surrender be complete. May we depend only on Bhagwan's grace. May we continue to do our sadhana for Parameshwara Prityartham, for pleasing Bhagwan alone, and may we attain oneness with Bhagwan. Jai Shri Krishna. Om Tat Sat.
ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिः कमल विहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते धर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनि कामासक्तिहरा तत्त्वज्ञान विकाशिनि विद्या ब्रह्मपरा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते निश्चल भक्ति विधायिनि निर्मल मलहारिणि शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनि सब विधि सुखकारी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते रागद्वेष विदारिणि कारिणि मोद सदा भवभयहारिणि सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा कीजय हरि बल प्रेम दान कर अपनो कर लीजय ओम जय भगवती ते ओम जय भगवती ते मैया जय भगवती ते हरिया कमल विहारिणी सुंदर सुपुनीते ओम जय भगवती ते ओम जय भगवती ते ओम जय भगवती ते बोलिए गीता मैया की जय
बोलिए श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Okay, any questions? All right. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Okay, there is one. Okay. हाँ ज्योत्सना जी.
Swamiji, even if they say unfairness being meted out to a person, and then you say, but you depend on God, is that what one says is the Ananya Bhakt will do? He will depend on God to sort out the unfairness. Not that you said doing nothing, say you'll go to court, you'll fight, whatever you may do, what is your karma to do? But how
Correct.
does
So
one
that's what
handle
will
a
happen.
situation
First
like
of
that?
all, the situation, one, as you said, they will do the purusharth, what has to be done will be done. Kartavya, if it is there, it has to be done, it will be done. Personally, one will not take it as it is unfair to me and this should not have happened. Why did this happen? And I don't have any faith in Bhagwan because till now I worshipped him and now this is what he did to me, and so I don't think he exists or it is fair enough. All that, those thoughts will not come because one accepts that whatever happened, now what is my next duty as whatever role I've been given by Bhagwan, I will follow that. So in that, like if you see Mahabharat war itself is the example. They tried to do Sandhi with the Kauravas, it didn't work. They had to do the war, so they fought. Pandavas are not victimizing themselves saying that what happened to us is wrong, it is not correct and we should take revenge and all that. They were ready to let go. They were
That
deep in
whatever
the...
be the results will be God's. That's what God has destined for me, good or bad.
Correct. But for Purushartha should not be mm, dropped in the sense of surrender. I don't do my duty, one should not think like that. Because Bhagavan says very clearly, Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha, we saw in the 8th chapter. Remember me and do the duty. We forget Bhagavan and that's where all this happens. So a devotee
Right.
will continue to do the duty. And the devotee will not judge this is fair and this is not fair and victimize oneself. Externally and for the sake of Vyavahar, one knows this is right, this is wrong. That is very clear, but one doesn't take it personally and feel offended and allow the ego to play its tricks. That doesn't happen. What has to be done, one will do.
So you do it with that spirit of not being concerned about the results. You do your Purushatra to the best, knowing that this
Both.
is God's will. And if I'm in
Yeah,
this situation, it's also because of God's will. Some karma is being worked out or something,
correct,
and I'm doing my best. And whatever the result is also His will, fair or unfair.
correct,
In my mind, my ego would say fair or unfair result, but you change that
correct,
attitude and say that no, it's His will. I did
correct,
my bit.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Hari Om Swamiji. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.